All right, welcome to today's video, and I'm gonna have to say this is not gonna be a nice video because I got some really serious things to talk about when it comes to Diablo, and there's a handful of things, right? First and foremost, however, what I really want to point out is something I find exceptionally disgusting, which is the leader for the Diablo 4 team here saying that we should call ARPGs Diablo-like, basically. And I put my response right here to his idiotic fucking comment because this man is either stupid or just ignorant as a motherfucker, and I'm really mad that he would even put this out in the world because it's actually is he's acting like there's not ever been anyone telling anyone at Blizzard that what they did wrong. Now, what I wrote is Diablo 2, or Diablo is a PoE like game now with way less content, who don't care for their community, just their wallets. I played Diablo 2 for 16 plus years, and you ruined the game with Diablo 3 and Diablo 4. I wrote many, many, many emails explaining explaining the problems. I got ignored. So take responsibility for your actions, right? Because I wrote them probably in, like, I would guess like 150, 200 emails explaining all the problems with Diablo 3, all the issues with Diablo 4. I spent so goddamn much time trying my absolute best to give them the information that would absolutely change the way the game is. And what did they do? They straight up ignored me. Every time I made a ticket about an issue, I got ignored. And this is not a Blizzard only thing, it's an Activision thing. It's something that happened ever since Activision bought up Blizzard. Then it was like, okay, stop fucking creating stuff that's inventive, new, cool, and give people what they want. Stop doing that. Let's start grinding their money. Let's start grinding their wallets. Let's become a billionaire company who shits on everybody and are so big that we can't fail. That's the mentality that I've been riding on for the past 20 fucking years. Okay? No, and I'm sorry for being this mad, but I cannot sit by letting something like that go down. Like, that's just not it. It's not gonna happen, man. If you really wanted to change stuff, you had a fucking decent time to do it. You had 20 years to do it, and you had thousands of messages complaining about what the problems were. Like, come the fuck on with that shit. I'm disgusted by it. Let's start from the beginning, right? Diablo 2 was a massive success. One of the absolute greatest game of all time. It's basically what Path of Exile is based upon, right? They have said that millions of times. But honestly, when you're shitting on your community this hard, right? And I want to kind of show off just a little sample of what Diablo 3 is like nowadays and has been for years. This is your experience when you jump on a Diablo 3 game on your console. Top 1,000 people on the leaderboard, all fucking hackers and cheaters. Look at this guy hacking in town, creating town portals, which you normally can only do inside of a fucking rift. He's creating them inside a town, and it's not like he's creating one. He's overly spamming them so it's blocking out the game. He's wearing completely hacked items. And I can prove it because I have legitimately played this shit quite a bit. I played for 4, 5 seasons, and then I quit because I could not take the hacking anymore. I could not take the fact that they let them do this. And no matter how much you complain about it, how many tickets you make, how much you fucking say about it, nothing happens. Nobody gets banned. Nothing happens. And you think you can shit on your community, leave the hackers going like this, doing all these things, and they don't respond to you? They just accept it and eat it raw? What do you think we are, man? Get the fuck out of here. That is the most unethical thing ever, man. The same thing, and it's an Activision thing, as I was saying. It's not like it's a Diablo thing only. So let's take another example of what Activision actually did. Let's go over to Call of Duty, because this is the point where I really went boycott Activision, stop supporting that game, stop supporting that company. They only care for money. They don't give a flying fuck for their community. All right, so they had a store outfit that you could buy from LA Thieves, looking just like this, all black. Only red part about the whole outfit is the LA on the front here, nothing else, all black. Now, we had for multiple years been complaining about the black skins of Warzone 1, or not multiple years, a year and a half or whatever it was, until they nerfed the rose skin, which used to be the full black skin. Rose skin, here we go. So upon releasing the game, we had a rose skin. So it's basically this skin right here. But let's see if we can find the next to each other. Yeah, this is where they changed her to, instead of being fully blacked out, now she's like gray, right? Like light gray. So the community complained for fucking ever about that shit. And then Warzone 2 comes out, and of course, what did they do? They put another black skin in there. Exactly, let's put a fully blacked out skin in there so you can lay in a corner in some dark ass alleyway and be invisible, right? It ruins the game, it ruins the experience, it ruins the fun. People was pissed about this. But nonetheless, because they do put out something, who bought it? Everyone. Every single person bought this because it's so fucking brokenly overpowered, right? What happened 14 days later after you spent your money on getting this skin? Well, they changed the skin to look like this now, so now it's glowing in the dark with red everywhere, right? Can you get your money returned? Do we get our coins returned for spending on the skin? Of course not. No. You can't get your money back. You already spent them. There is no return policy. I contacted PlayStation. I wanted my money back. I did not want to support the game anymore. I was really pissed off. Now, PlayStation told me, PlayStation Network, I called them, I made a ticket, and they said, we can't refund you because it's a third party, it's not a game that we own, so we can't refund you. So you have to contact Activision. Okay, I go to Activision, I make a ticket, I explain everything, I send them proof, I tell them everything, and what do I get? Well, it's the same for everyone, so we can't return your money because it's the same for everyone. Yeah, but you stole my money to begin with by selling me something, a product. It's basically like selling me a TV that's 45 inches, and then 1 week later, the guy who sold it to me, the company who sold it to me, they send out some dude who walks in my house while I'm not at home and changes the 45 to a 25-inch TV, and then just says, well, that's how it is. Everybody got the 25-inch TV now. I know you paid for the 45-inch, but that's just your bad, homie. I'm sorry. Treat people like that. Keep treating them like that, right? Like in Call of Duty, in Diablo, treat them like that. Keep doing that because you are absolutely shooting yourself in the foot. That's what I've been saying for the past 15 years. I've been writing you fucking emails telling you this is why the company isn't being talked about nicely. This is why we are unhappy. And what did you do? You chose to go on Twitter, come up with some stupid fucking, let's call it Diablo-like when it's an ARPG. Dude, we have been calling ARPGs Diablo-like since Diablo 2 because that was a Diablo game. Diablo 3 was a clone of World of Warcraft with Diablo-like features. Diablo 4 is a dumbed down fucking version of Diablo Immortal. That's basically what it is. It's a fucking port of that. That's basically what it is. I spent time playing Diablo 4 for a little bit, but I got so bored, man. I swear to God. They even emailed me a bunch of times. Oh, come back, try it out again. It's there's a free beta. You can try it out. We reworked the items, and that's the new seasonal theme update. And we reworked the items and made them good. So that's a season update. We're making items good that was super shitty, and we're calling it a season. Get the fuck out of here. If you have shitty items in your game, just fix it. You had a fucking perfect game to go off of. the Diablo items is some of the best itemizations there's ever been in any game. How can you not look at that and say, okay, let's grab all these brilliant items, let's grab all these brilliant ideas, and let's continue working on them. Instead, you went the opposite direction and was like, no, let's not do that. Diablo 2 was not a casual game. No matter how many people say that Diablo is for casual players, Diablo 2 is not a fucking casual game. That's a grindy game. That's equally as grindy as Path of Exile. There's no real difference. I sunk 6,000 hours into my Diablo. 6,500 hours. Look at the characters. These are level 99. This is my level 99 that I was top 5 on the leaderboards with in season 1 of Diablo Resurrected on PlayStation. I was top 5 on the leaderboards. You would think that would give you some kind of leeway with them, and they would like say, okay, this is a high-end player. If he's giving us all of this information about what is wrong, what is bad, what we should change, maybe, just maybe, let's take it up and look at it. Maybe we try and make some of this stuff. Maybe we try and do some of this stuff and just see how it works. But no. There's no money in my suggestions. I know that. There's no microtransactions in the suggestions I sent to them because it's the problems with the game. So why are we out here acting like Diablo? And I'm so sorry for shitting on Diablo 4 like this, but honestly, it has nothing to do with any Diablo game at all. Diablo 4 is at best, it's a Diablo 2-like game with nothing in it compared to Diablo 2. That's at best. And I wouldn't even call it that because it's barely Diablo 2-like. The only thing that's Diablo 2-like about it is some of the names of the characters or some of the names of the skill. That's the only Diablo 2 part about the game. There's nothing else about it that has any Diablo 2 flavor. So my message to you, Rod Ferguson, is if you really am so dissatisfied with PoE doing what you should have been done the past 20 years, how about when you make Diablo 5, you get your shit together, right? And you actually make a fucking good game. And you actually make what the community wants. How about that? Like, isn't that the smartest way to go about it? I don't understand the business mind behind this shit. I don't understand it. I don't fucking get it. It cannot be good for business to act like this, to be like this. Maybe it's good for business up front when you're making your first sales, but if you're going to take another 10 years to make Diablo 5, is it going to be a good business investment? Is it going to be people playing the game religiously for the next 10 years? I don't think so. I think it's so boring that a lot of people are going to fall off really quickly because they just simply get bored. There's next to nothing to do. There's no chase items like there is in Diablo 2. Diablo 2 has a shit ton of chase items, and I've played this game so goddamn many years, like 16 plus years, and still haven't found all the items that is like super chase items. So there's nothing like that. There's nothing like that. Does that mean that you can't be a casual player and play the game casually? No, of course you can play Diablo 2 casually. Of course you don't have to have a level 99 with all the sickest gear you can get. No, you don't need any of that shit. You can easily play this with like budget ass gear. If we look at this is my hardcore barbarian, right? Like we just open this up and we look at the gear, and I can tell you already, this has taken me no time to gain, right? Like this is maybe 5-6 days of playing or something like that, right? And it's all shit, honestly. It's nothing about any of this gear is great. Some of it is good, but it's not the best gear. It's not something that takes forever to get a hand of. It's so easy to get. And yet we're acting like they can't make this? Really? It's not casual. If there is chase items and there's a real end game, then it's not casual no more? Like, what are we talking about? What are we actually talking about? This is a crazy good example of something you could consider somewhat of a chase item, right? It's a +5 to battle order barbarian skills, which basically gives you more life. So the fact that I have 5 skills into it from the helmet instead of just the 2 skills from this helmet makes it to where if I want to go give myself more life, I'll put that on real quick. I'll go do the bow, and then I'll put back on whatever I had on, and then that's it. I can't see how you can come say that, we have to make it for casual players. No, you don't have to make it for casual players. You can make it so casual players can play it, but you shouldn't focus on only making it playable for casual players and then having all the people who were big fans and hardcore players and spent years and hundreds of thousands of hours on playing the game be like, what happened to my game? What actually happened to the thing that I was in love with when I grew up? Like, what the fuck happened? Who went and sold out? I don't understand. And I'm sorry for being so mad, but after reading a tweet, man, it pissed me off so bad because of how much time I spent on giving them information on what they could have changed to make the game better. The amount of hours I spent writing emails in hopes that they would listen and change the mentality and change the game. I feel shit on by them, honestly. I feel like I spent a lot of time trying to help out a company that I was a massive fan of for so many years. And Diablo 3 really, it really ruined it for me. And I was already on the fence after that situation because I had a feeling that they were going to go in the Call of Duty direction with battle passes and microtransactions and all of this dumb bullshit that really, okay, I don't mind it if it's not something it's being overly pushed on you. And that's one reason why I love Path of Exile. You can play the game for 1,000 hours and never look in the store once because there's not like a pop-up in the middle of the fucking screen saying, hey, go to the store, there's an offer on this shit right now. You know what I mean? Like, just I would have gladly spent money on microtransactions and all this shit in Diablo 4 if it was actually a good game, right? Like, I would have spent equally as much as I spent on fucking Path of Exile, which I've now spent $300 on or something like that. And I only spend that. I'm not a person who normally buys microtransactions whatsoever. The Call of Duty one, I earned that one by playing every season and buying the ultimate editions of the games previous games that gave me like a couple of thousand god points, and I had just saved them up over time, and I had like 15,000 god points or some bullshit like that. I can't remember. So I just spent some of it because the black outfit was so overpowered, right? So it's not like I spent money on it or anything, but I did spend money I did actually spend money on the black skin. I have like a bunch of other skins that I'm missing. I am mixing up things right now. Sorry for that. I did spend real money on the black skin from the thieves because it was a new Call of Duty. I remember now. But the other skins that I bought, like the weapon skins and all of the what's it called? Rambo skin that I bought for Cold War. There's a couple of other skins I bought. All of those was bought with the cop points I'd saved up over years, right? And then at one point, I bought that thieves outfit for real money, and that's why I was so mad because it was the first time I actually spent real money in the game, and I like spent real money on microtransactions, and I felt like I got cheated out of it immediately 14 days later. But what I was about to say is I did spend a whole lot of money on Path of Exile, right? And the reasoning behind that is basically they don't push me to spend anything. They don't ask me to spend anything. They don't try to force you into a store. There's no dark patterns that makes you claim a fucking battle pass. There's no let's sell them one thing and then change it later and like just act like nothing happened. There's none of those dirty tactics within PoE. There's no obscure ways to figure out what something cost. If it says 210 coins, that's $21. You just remove the back end, and that's the exact number you're paying. There's no obscure values that you have to sit there with a calculator and calculate how much you actually spend on this fucking shit. There's none of that. There's absolutely none of that. And on top of that, it's really a complete game when you're talking Path of Exile. It's a fully complete game, has a beginning, a middle, and an end game, right? And I don't think personally that Diablo 3 had the same thing. It had a beginning It had an end game that was one thing. It was rifts. That was end game. It's one thing. Is it really a incredible end game then? No, because it's basically 5 different bosses you're fighting in a couple of different environments, but it's basically on these 5 fucking bosses you can meet. And you have to sit there fishing for the fucking right rift in order to complete it fast, and like, it's stupid. It's so dumb. And the amount of cheaters on Diablo 3 is so ridiculous. It's absolutely, as I said, top 1,000 all cheaters. 100% of them is cheaters. And I spoke to a lot of them, asking them why they cheat. And they just said, well, I might as well because everybody else is doing it. And I'm like, wow, okay. So that's the mentality that everybody's cheating. So why not cheat? Why the fuck do we not fix that? Why the fuck do we not kick people out of the game who's clearly hacking and cheating? Like, what the fuck is happening? So, that's my take on this. This was somewhat of a rant, and I'm so sorry for that, but I just had to say something because I felt shit on by that fucking comment by him. Like, there's no calling anything anymore a Diablo-like game. If anything, I'm gonna be calling it a PoE-like game. If I see something else, if people ask me, what do you think about Last Epoch, I'm gonna say it's like a PoE-like game, but less massive. But it'll probably come over time when they have more time, more seasons, whatever. And I'll definitely try it out at some point, for sure, 100%. I want to, but I'm definitely never buying Diablo 4, and I'm definitely never buying another copy of Diablo 3. That's for sure. I own 5 copies of Diablo 2, and I own 2 copies of Diablo 2 Resurrected. So, if that doesn't tell you that I'm willing to spend money on your game, Rod, then I don't know what will. I am very willing to spend, and I'm willing to buy more than 1 copy too, just for the fact of I like the thing that I'm getting, and I feel like it's worth more than I'm paying for it. So I buy twice or 3 times just because I felt like that's the value that I have received back from the game. That's why I spent $300 on Path of Exile, is because that's the value that I felt like I received from the game. Now let's take a couple of scrolls down here, looking a bit of some of the comments. Jong said, and note, he has 666 likes, right? Young's comment has 4,000 likes. Basically, like 8x what he has. And what did he say? He said, how do you normalize Diablo-like if no one likes Diablo 4 or Diablo 3? You can't. That's the answer. You can't. PoE-like. Can't sit him. Yeah, that man is bought and paid for, basically. I don't think so. I wish Diablo 4 was Diablo-like. That's the general consensus when it comes to Diablo 4 and Diablo 3. If Diablo had been consistently good, maybe, but it's not. Like, not to be harsh, but let me be real. The series has bright and low points, and even Diablo 4 itself is very up and down. Fair enough. Rod, I'm not only the #1 Diablo defender, but Diablo-like would be almost certainly referring to Diablo 1 and Diablo 2, not 3 and 4, which are much more arcadey ARPGs, and they're much more casual in terms of no real challenges, no real systems, no nothing, basically. It's just like sit down, waste your time, and get nothing out of it. PoE-like Diablo 4 is a PoE-like ARPG. Boom, there you go. Speaking the truth, man. This is Diablo-like was good in the time of D1 and D2. Were Epic good on this time? Its time? Oh, it was Epic good for its time. Okay, I see what you wanted to say. And honestly, PoE 2 is revolutionary, something companies are stopping to do just to follow the needs instead of the players' love for the game. Investors' needs. Yeah, true shit. True shit. It's all about the investors and not about the community. PoE2 is more Diablo-like than D4. Ouch. Maybe consult with GGG for a collaboration. Please do not do that, because they don't want to listen, so don't do that. Gamer rage is real in this thread. Stop making it personal and just enjoy your games. That's you vibe with the most. Holy moly. I don't agree. When if somebody starts doing something shady or somebody starts doing something that's unacceptable for the community, you should definitely call it out. And you should definitely not spend your money, because honestly the only way you can vote nowadays against anything is by not spending your money. So that's why I've boycotted Activision completely. No more Activision games ever. Just make Diablo 5 better than PoE, and you can do that then. I don't get the idea of making Diablo 4 not dark and easy as fuck. Boom. Fatty. That's easy. It's such a fucking easy. It's like, bro, the man made a incredible layup and he's getting dunked on. Like, dunked on. When you make a good Diablo game, then we can talk. Until then, poof. Bro, boys are out hard. They are out hard. Damn. Damn. ARPGs. ARPG is more like PoE than Diablo. That's a vax stick. Jesus Christ. Wow. Damn, look at the views to likes. Ouch. Ouch. 218,000 views with 400 likes. Should tell you everything you really need to know about your game, man. Like, how can you not go on your Twitter, read all of this shit, and be like, wow, I see there's a mistake been made here. Boom. I surely don't remember Diablo trying to sell me a $480 supporter pack for a free game. Well, homie, it's a free game because you don't have to buy a $480 supporter pack at all. You can buy nothing and still play the game, buddy. You don't have to pay $100 to just play the game to find out that it's shit, and then afterwards being pumped for money through the battle pass and microtransactions and all of this shit while you already paid $100 for the game that is shit, and then it's not getting updated properly, and it's not getting enough new content. You pay $480 for the supporter pack. It's not like you're just getting a couple of cosmetics. You're getting $480 worth of points to spend in the store. Plus, you're getting multiple free keys to play the game and give them out to your friends if you want early access. And you can actually just buy a $60 pack, which would be $40 less than what Diablo was, basically, and still get all the stuff that you need. What you really need is just the stash tabs. You don't need any fancy outfits or anything. That doesn't really change your gameplay. That's a personal preference. Diablo is my go-to when I'm explaining to my wife what kind of ARPG plays I like. Rod Ferguson, let's normalize Diablo like community. You mean how we've been? You mean like how we've been calling them since Diablo 2? That's what I said, bro. We have been calling it ARPGs Diablo-like since Diablo 2. We just haven't called them Diablo 3-like or Diablo 4-like because there's nothing out there that is that bad, basically. So there's no comparison. That's what it is. Diablo 4 chuckles. I'm in danger. Beautiful. Diablo 4 is a casual PoE-like game. Boom, there you go. Look how agreeing 90% of people are. 90% of people agree that Diablo has fallen off completely. What are we talking about? What are we fucking talking about? I don't get it, man. I don't get the man's perspective on this shit. Stupid, stupid take, bro. It's the most dumbass take I've ever seen. Honestly. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it here. I would like to hear from you guys. What do you think? Do you think they should stop catering to casuals and try and be a little bit more on the let's just do great content, and then if it's hard, it's hard? Or do you think they should go even more casual and make it easier and make it less challenging, less chase items, less of all these things? I would like to know. If you're on that boat, like, I would really like to talk to you about what makes the game fun for you, because I don't see the fun in the game when there's nothing for me to chase at all. So I would really like to hear from you guys. What's your take on this? What's your idea? What do you think would be a better choice for Blizzard in the future? What do you think we should say to guys like this when they come with takes like this? Like, do you think we should be straight up with them and tell them how it is? Or do you think we should be undercutting it and be nice to people and just say, oh, it's all okay, it's okay, it doesn't matter if it's bad as long as you made a bunch of money, it's all good? Like, what's your real take on this? I want to know. And if you disagree with me, that's completely fine. I'm not hating on anybody playing the games or anything. I'm just mad at the company who crafted this bullshit and then afterwards had the fucking audacity to sit there and say stuff like that. Forget about it. I want to hear from you guys. I really do. And I feel like this has been, of course it was a rant, but I feel like this has been well deserved from their side, since I spent that much time talking up Diablo 2, talking up Blizzard in general, and then afterwards getting shit on like that. So let me hear from you guys. Like, comment, subscribe. If you want to see the PoE 2 journey, be ready, because I'm gonna be full on that shit, and I'm not giving in. I am gonna race all the other guys, see who gets it. That's how it's gonna be. And I promise you guys, I'm not mad at any of you for playing Diablo 4. If you play Diablo 4, you are very welcome to do that. I will, however, suggest, if you've never played Diablo 2, maybe, just maybe, you try out Diablo 2, like Resurrected. You get to the true end game and you see how the game performs, how it feels, the monsters, the abilities, the items, all of these things. Try it out. Give it a chance. I know it's an old game. It doesn't look new. It has, I wouldn't say bad graphics, right? But it's not the best, craziest new graphics. Although I do think this looks better than Diablo 4 and Diablo 3. Sorry for saying that, but that's just how I feel. I would definitely give this a chance. If you look at the PoE skill tree and you're fully like, oh my god, this is impossible to look at, just imagine if everything on this skill tree and every other character was all put in one skill tree, and everything that it says, so it says radius 12 yards, right? This would be 5 nodes plus 4 to radius, or you know what I mean, like defense 200%, that would be 5 points, whatever. That's how you should look at the skill tree. We have equally as much on this skill tree basically, right? But it's just all mashed up together in one thing, and it's only on one site, so it's less convoluted to look at. But honestly, in PoE, you're just getting the same exact type of deal with way more customization. You can customize your build way more. There's way more potentials. You can use any of the skills on any of your characters. And you don't have to make a rune word to make it work on your character. You don't have to make a rune word with Enigma to use Frostblink. You just put Frostblink on whatever character you want and you can use it. Take a page out of Path of Exile's book, try to make a new game that's equally impressive as Path of Exile is. That's it. That's all for me. I'm gonna shut up now. I'm gonna leave it up to you guys. Like, comment, subscribe if you like, and I'll catch you all in the next one.